What's up, everybody? Getting this volume
We
up
got
here.
Cody and Sal here today. We're just going over the overall market and the sentiment and pretty much just any comments, any questions you guys have. And I'll let Sal lead the way starting out.
Hey, guys, welcome back in as we let people trickle in here. Welcome back to another crypto morning session. We're going to talk about Bitcoin and how it's been trading sideways and how your altcoin portfolio is going to get crushed. Uh, got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. We do this every morning, but usually 8:30 to 9:30 start time, which is kind of different. As you guys know, if you are new to joining us, I run a couple businesses, a moving company, a detail shop. I invest in a lot of other businesses as well as crypto, real estate, and stocks. Do a lot of fun stuff here. Cody's the one that got me into crypto about a year and a half ago, and it's been a crazy ride ever since.
Oh, yeah.
It is we always do this as open forum, so you guys can certainly join in live on YouTube if you want to come in and chat, or Facebook and Twitch if you want to. The links there in the chat if you want to join in live and speak your opinion. We certainly do appreciate that. Or if you guys want on TikTok, comment below. Let us know if you are any questions you have, and we will try to get them answered as quickly as possible. Do bear with us some patience. We get a lot of comments through there sometimes, and you guys certainly are a good chat and do a lot of quick answers and questions. So really appreciate that. But welcome in. We're going to get started. It's kind of like a boring day. Bitcoin's been sideways. Altcoins are getting crushed, although Quant's still surviving and still up quite a bit. But a lot of fun stuff to talk about, but still overall still boring, a little bit boring in the crypto market. And of course, the SEC doing its thing, Gary Gensler being degenerate as all hell and causing us problems.
Yeah. So Gary Gensler is not protecting investors. He is basically protecting by enforcing. He is basically protecting by liquidating.
Exactly, and unfortunately, he's crushing our crushing people's portfolios and destroying the liquidity available. But let's go over some of the quick things here. I, Before we get going, we got Bitcoin sitting here trading at 25,800, about 0.29% up on the day. ETH kind of still flat at in the 1700 range, still like down 0.3%. Yeah, 0.32%. XRP dropping a little bit down to 51 cents. We have Cardano's bouncing back with a 5% gain from yesterday. We have Solana down to $15, still getting crushed a little bit. Polkadot dropped down to about like 420 something, but rebounded a little bit back up to 453. And we have Cosmos down to $8.66, right along where we said our likely price targets were, which is if you are on our Patreon and following us on our Patreon, I'm doing all our buy orders there for both Cody and I whenever we make a buy order. And I did buy some Atom yesterday as
I
well as
did too.
other things.
I'm at
But
1350, Adam.
there we go. Cody been aggressively stacking it, but it bounced back 5% up. It's also we have Chainlink at about 515, still kind of flat, and then we have Hedera still in the 0.045 range. Got Quant just hovering over 100, kind of flat on the day, but down 13% in the last 7 days. And then we got all your meme coins got crushed and everything like that. Pepe coin down 21% on the.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be down at 100% eventually.
Oh yeah, it definitely will be, but it seems to be certain things seem to be holding steady. We have Casper still holding steady, flat, only 8% down on the week, but kind of less than 1% down on the day. And of course, we have good old Phantom still down 22% on the week, but up almost 3%. Render token flat, but down 30%. But they had a pretty good run up. So for the month, they're still overall at their height for the last 30 days or even 90 days. And of course, we have Algorand sitting there down 25%, but up 3% rebound from yesterday. And of course, good old Crow token down 10%, down to the 0.054 range, and Filecoin still taking a beating with the SEC stuff, at down 25% on the week, and a little bit up about 1.5%. So still got some great things going on there. Lots of fun things happening in the market. I still think this is probably a good time to start dollar cost averaging in, buying in, getting your bag set, and getting into where you want to be. So we're going to talk a little bit here about what Benjamin Cohen said. Cody actually looked it up more than I did. I think.
I like Benjamin Cohen. I really do. Even though he has a different view than I do, sometimes you have to separate your view and other people's view. Sometimes you have to look into both sides.
Mhm.
You know, I tap into Benjamin Cohen's mind by watching his streams and his videos, just like how you guys tap into our streams. It's good to have your own view and kind of dip into our own view if that's what you want to do. But basically, you know, he's bullish on the idea that Bitcoin's going to be trading sideways and your favorite altcoin is going to get wrecked. Me personally, my favorite altcoin is Quant. And he says that every altcoin has bled against Bitcoin. Yet, I don't know if he doesn't know about Quant, but Quant is currently up 100% on the year. Bitcoin and Ethereum are not up 100% on the year. They're just
Mhm.
not. Quant has held and has been resilient. I remember last June, July, August, up 2022, it was just going up like crazy. And it's up 100% for the year. Is Bitcoin up 100% for the year? No. Now, I'm not saying that that should be your cue to go all in on quant. You should still hold Bitcoin and ETH, but that's just an example of an altcoin standing out from the rest of the market. Is quant down like everything else? Yes, but on the year, it's still up 100%.
Yeah, exactly. And we're still seeing some upward trending action on Bitcoin here. Let's just go back to the 30-minute cycles. But as you can see, we dipped overnight, but then obviously we're starting to see a rebound here. So if you bought the dip on Bitcoin, it looks like you're going to make some money on that trade. Shout out to Aiden. I stopped vaping and invested that money into crypto, and it changed my life. BTC going down bad, absolutely. Hey, glad you stopped that habit. That's a hard habit to stop. A lot of
I'm not gonna lie, man. I still vape, but I pledge you on that. I encourage
yeah,
people to quit.
everybody, absolutely.
I've cold turkeyed it for 3 months before, and I did pick it back up, and it's not a good thing to pick it back up. And I'm working on it. I'm actually tapering myself down. It's better to cold turkey, but that's good that you quit a habit to put into assets. Me personally, I'm still putting my money into assets. Yeah, I would have a little bit more if I stopped, but currently I'm sitting at over $10,000 invested, and I'm almost 23. And in the next year, I'll have about 30, 40 grand in my crypto portfolio, 30, 40 G's just in crypto at 23. So I'm still going.
There we go. And everyone, shout out to Aiden. Give him a like
Yes,
and a
sir.
heart there, because that's the hardest thing, taking a negative addiction and turning it into a money machine for yourself instead of buying all the vaping stuff and everything. You're putting it into work for you, which is definitely better, instead of vaping costing you a huge cost down the road in medical expenses. You're going to make that money for yourself. So congratulations there. We can give a nice shout out to Aiden there, definitely, and thank you so much for your support and joining in on the stream. That's
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
good. Um, so yeah, I do like a lot of what Benjamin Cohen said. I'm not on the same side as him with the alts. I always am a firm believer that in order to have market efficiency, you need to have different players in the game, and that the alts are going to help drive not only diversity but also drive innovation as new people come in and see things better and hopefully can do things better. Now, it is incumbent upon you to make sure that you do your research, your due diligence, make sure you follow all the rules about investing, and never invest into a crypto project that you do not understand. Now, as this going said, Cody and I were not financial advisors. However, I was a licensed trader, so I view things as like a broker would view it, and I only really do things on that fiduciary side of understanding whether or not I should invest in something, or tell you guys, hey, I think we should not enter into this. But with that being said, all of us in the financial industry are have a fiduciary responsibility to everybody to help protect them in the best ways that we can, whether or not you are a paying client or not. So that's what we try to do here. Now, crypto is a huge risk, and I don't recommend you put your life savings into this. Absolutely not. As someone who's been in the financial industry, it hurts me so bad to see people put hundreds of thousands of dollars of their hard-earned work or tens of thousands of dollars of their hard-earned work into crypto, and then you are one change and it ruins your life. We don't want to see that. We want to make sure that we're only risking money we can afford to lose, and that we make sure that we protect our profits or protect our gains by taking our profits as we go along and when we're most comfortable. So everything's actually kind of at your own risk level.
It
So if
can
you don't see value in it, to start taking your money or sell the asset. Do what you think makes right and sense for you. I'm sorry, Cody, you were about to say something.
Oh yeah, so it can be the same way in a bull run. Even if it's not your money invested and it's profit,
Mhm.
you still got to cash out because if you're in hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands, whatever amount of profit you're in, and you don't cash out and the greed's taking over and you're like, oh, this could go higher. It's like, for example, like if Quant goes to $100, right? And let's
Mhm.
just say, I'm in this greed feeling. Like, yeah, technically it can go much higher because of tokenomics and all that. But and I have this greed feeling that it's gonna go to $10,000. Well, I keep holding. Next thing you know, Quant drops 2x to $500. Yeah, you can be like, oh, I can buy more, but you're gonna feel scared if you're in hundreds of thousands of profit. If you just see that drop 2x overnight, you're not gonna feel good about it. You're gonna
Exactly.
feel better if you take profits. You're gonna feel better if you lock that in and say, you know what, even if it does go higher, I'm securing profit. All these new people, they're just buying. They're my exit liquidity. Me, I'm taking my profits, and that's what you should do. You should take your profits, just like in the stock market. Like take your profits.
Exactly. And shout out to NG Dubs, one of our longtime supporters. Really, really definitely is always in here every live almost. So we appreciate and love your support there. He is shouting out on the YouTube side, telling us to look over Pulse Chain a little bit and check out Pulse Burn. I do have that website here. I got it live here on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. It's a kind of a real focused on the Hex community, PulseX, and everything involved around that community. Definitely. There are some moves that you can make in those chains. However, like I said, there is a lot of high risk in this, so do be aware of that. But if you can spot a trade where you can make some money, definitely do it. But visit pulseburn.com definitely to understand what that's all about and everything. Shout out to Logan. Welcome back in. Really appreciate your support. You're here almost every live as well. Glad to have you back in. Thank you so much. Shout out to Caddy. Welcome back as well. It's another great day to have you in here. And we appreciate all your guys' support and love and everything. Really appreciate it. I know that the sentiment on Richard Hart is kind of there's no middle ground with a lot of people. It's either you hate him or you love him. Um, what we do here, Cody and I do, we are agnostic to everything. We just want to get that trade, and if if there's an opportunity to make some money and get in and get out, then we will try to do it as long as the risk and reward is there for us. But remember, um, Cody and I have a little bit different financial circumstances than a lot of you guys. So, if we end up losing on a trade, it's not going to hurt us as much as some people will. So just keep that in mind, and you don't have to do a degenerate play if you don't feel comfortable with it. Never do anything you don't feel comfortable doing. It's always you got to make sure that trade is right for you. So, and shout out to Logan again. Good morning to you too, brother. I hope you have an amazing day too. Go out there and get that bag. But that's all what we're here for. Getting to that financial security by the time you guys are my age, coming up on 40. Or if you need some help to fine tune and get a little further, that's what we're also here for. Everybody. And also, I just want to shout out to everybody. Just because you might be thinking it, it's always good just to put that comment in there if you have a quick question, because there's a lot of people out there that may be thinking it as well, but too afraid to ask. So
And
don't
trust
feel
me,
shy, ask away. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cody.
And trust me, we do not bite. We do not make fun of people for, because we understand that, what you think might sound stupid to somebody else just sounds like inexperience to us, not stupidity. It's not stupidity, it's just inexperience. And inexperience, the treatment for that is education. And we're here to just educate you guys with what we research. Not based on, it's not set in stone. Nothing is set in stone in life. We're not saying this is set in stone. It's just we do research on what we have invested. We don't we look in the coins that you guys recommend, but based on our research, we choose whether we will add that to our portfolio or not. Just like Hex and Pulse Chain, for example. Like I looked into it, I didn't add it into my portfolio. Now, could it go up one day? Yes, it can. But me personally, I have a one-track mind of Ethereum and Quant right now, and Bitcoin.
Exactly, and you do also want to make sure that you're stacking your bags to what you can feasibly think is going to work for you guys. Make sure you get those blue chip ones first. This goes for both crypto and stocks. It's not pulling it up. Okay. Um, make sure you're always getting. Make sure you're always getting those things. Your solid assets first before you start getting into risky ventures. Because Hex right now is a pretty high risk, but I have a feeling with the bull run, it's probably going to go up anyway. I don't know where it's going to go. But like I said, if you're investing now and it goes from 1 cent to 10 cent, you got a 10x. I would just take that and leave.
Take a 10x, please take a 10x. When you
Yeah,
hit it, it's easy. It's easy to say that now, but when we get there, it's gonna be hard. Trust me, it's gonna be hard to take profits. Trust me, it is really hard to secure profits. People don't really talk about that. It really is hard to take profits when there's so much greed and euphoria in the markets. And I know that's a classic, regular talking point, but that's true. It's hard. I experienced that last bull run. It's really hard when you got all that emotion.
exactly. And I know that's we're getting a little bit away from the trading aspect that we're doing in the morning. Um, I do want to say that you guys got to remember, don't worry about where it can go because it's so easy to get hyped up in the FOMO and the enthusiasm and the euphoria of crypto and saying, "Man, we got one more top, one more top, one more top." But it's like, look, once you're there, once you got your money, get out and put it someplace else. I would recommend if crypto is your biggest bag in investments, take it out and diversify into real estate and stocks, and then use those earnings from those to go back into crypto. That's that's how I got into crypto. Crypto is kind of like the last venture I went into, and I do see a lot of potential in it, but I'm not going to risk if I get a 10x, I'm cutting out immediately, and I'm dropping down to a more safe level for myself. But if it goes up again, I'll just keep taking profits and shaving away as we go. Um, the shout out to NG Dubs definitely didn't look into enough to understand it all, though. Exactly. We really got to do a real deep dive into Pulse Chain Hex, the whole community, and the environment and everything. And I really think it deserves its own video rather than just like a quick 5-10 minute shout out on our stream. But it's there is potential there. There are actual developers working on it. It's just what really hurts is the sentiment involved with Richard Hart.
Yeah.
That's where it lies. He's not winning over people. Now, if the top was promoted more and not the bottom, if the the top was promoted more, we are if the projects were promoted more. I'm sorry, I was looking at too many things at once. But if the developers were promoting more rather than Richard Hart, it might be a little different. But not to say that you can't see value in something that you don't believe in long term to still make a trade. And that's what you got to understand about trading is understanding the value enough of what's going on to build, but always still be safe and still do what you got to do to make sure you protect your wealth and your earnings and your profit. But shout out to NG Dubs. We will definitely do a deep dive on it. We really have to. Exactly. And shout out to NG Dubs on YouTube. Definitely have to look deep into Richard. old content live streams to understand it more. Exactly. That's one of those things we have to like research from start to finish to really to really give a good headway onto it. But there's still some points in here. I know probably Serge Banger is probably going to start coming here a little bit to give us his shout outs on there. So shout out to Caddy. Thank you for your support. I stay away from Richard Hart products, and
Yeah.
it's kind of a back and forth. I'm very careful about everything I invest in. But if I see that the opportunity is there as a trader, I make the trade and then collect the profits. Um, with that said, let's go back over here, take a look at quant here. I mean, we had a nice dip once again in the middle, like in the middle of the night, like at 4 o'clock in the morning. Man, we keep getting those nice dips because we had that one. Did we have that one before? Yeah, we keep having those nice little candles there to dip. Um, but mm, we're still kind of like holding it in that range there. Let's go back to the hours here. Ooh, there we go. So as you see here, we're still having some sell off and then a little bit of buy, then some sell off. So it looks like if we're going to plot out that next chart there, we would probably see we're going to go down again. As you see there, we're kind of going back and forth, back and forth. But if we really look right here, we're going to go down right back to this level, probably in the next hour. And if we can go a little bit lower, which Cody and I are hoping to get to 95, $90 range, then it might be a good buying point for quant.
Oh yeah, I'm laser eyes. You know the CZ or the Michael Saylor laser eyes. That's what I got for quant. I got straight laser eyes.
Exactly. What do you shout to Tate 1971? What do you think about? Is that Litecoin you're talking about, or Litecoin, or
Does
Link?
he say LTC
It's a
or
Like.
LIKD? I've heard
Oh,
that.
okay.
There's also a new decentralized messaging platform called Trust. I mean Status. It's called Status. Look up Status on CoinMarketCap and you'll see what I'm talking about. But it's pretty cool. It actually looks
SNT.
promising.
Okay.
Is that
Mm,
Status?
yep. Status as the moniker SNT.
Yeah,
I
a
will
lot of people don't know about Status.
absolutely. Give me 1 second here. Just got to answer a quick question here. Oops. Well, we can definitely take a look into this. But go ahead. What were some of your thoughts about this, Cody?
So it's a decentralized messaging platform. It's pretty much like Telegram, except it's like actual like blockchain technology, and it looks promising because the tokenomics they're decent. They're not terrible at all, and I haven't done too much research on behind the team, but reading the white paper a little bit, it sounds a little intriguing. But any project can sound intriguing, you never know what's behind it, but as an idea, Status is pretty cool, just as an idea. I'm not talking about investment advice or as an investment, just as an idea. It's a pretty good idea.
Okay, so yeah, we'll definitely. I'm gonna add it to my follow list here, and I'm just gonna keep it on my followers there. But it doesn't have quite a lot of support yet, but that's always good. It's always a good thing. You might actually get first mover advantage in this. It's sitting right now at 2 cents, and it looks like it's kind of following the exact same thing as the markets
I like the
there.
name of it too. Status is a pretty cool name for a messaging platform.
Oh, it certainly is. You can add it to Trust Wallet and MetaMask.
Yeah. I know a lot of people like to talk about Richard Hart, Hex, and Pulse Chain. And that's a pretty good idea too. But I like the ideas of, so, for example, something like this, like decentralized messaging. Like, yeah, Telegram's the king of that right now. As you guys know, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but in
Mhm.
June of last year, June 2022, Telegram was the most used app like ever in June 2022. And there's a lot of businesses, a lot of e-com, a lot of businesses being done on Telegram. And there's even a whole username market for Telegram. It's called Fragment, and you have to have a VPN to use. And you buy usernames like OG 5-letter usernames for Telegram with the Ton coin. Ton coin is the currency made by Telegram, and you can, actually buy unique usernames and sell them on that website. There's a lot of cool ideas like that, and status could easily do something like that. I mean, Telegram's the first mover advantage on the usernames and the
Mhm.
messaging stuff, but I think status, if it's not a scam, if it's not a rug pull, if the developers keep going on through the idea and the white paper and their roadmap, then I think status could be, a good thing. But developers and people could always be shady. They could always ghost or abandon a project, and then it will be a zombie chain. Nobody uses it.
Exactly. Exactly, and anything can happen to any project over time, but it is definitely a unique thing, especially since in the US you can't get TON. You have to get a VPN to address that and move it to a different area.
Well, I tried to use a VPN on KuCoin and to buy
Mhm.
Ton, and it booted me out. Like, it didn't let me at all. So a lot of exchanges are cracking down on VPNs. There's some
Mhm.
that allow it. You can buy it on a decentralized exchange, but Ton is on Coinbase, I think, for European people. Not in the United States, but you have to have a VPN for Fragment, definitely.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did not know that the chains were cracking down on the coin on using the VPNs. But
Yeah,
looking
they
at
are.
coming back over to Litecoin, we'll just read briefly about it so we can get a quick synopsis about it. Because I don't see much here, but we'll go ahead and maybe pull up a white paper here. Okay, that way we can get what it, what it's about. So Litecoin decentralizes publishing by allowing everyone to publish their own content as NFTs with a suite of open tools. Own your own content by publishing NFTs on Litecoin and Chain. I'm guessing the coin will be used to purchase and transfer these projects and NFTs and everything. And probably, if I'm looking at everything correctly, I'm betting it's going to have something to do with Web3 and everything coming up. So yeah, that's definitely. It sounds like another thing like status and Telegram where you're transferring ownership of NFTs and namesakes and everything, things like that. So it definitely has potential to do well. Right now, it is sitting at right now it is sitting at like a 0.001 cent. So, and we're looking at what has it been around for? What, just about 3 years, 4 years? So it could join in with the bull run. It could not, but right now it's got three. It doesn't have as much followers on there. It's on 12,000 watch list. No one's really following this coin yet, but it's on 12,000 watch list. It's got a low volume, so that's very risky right there. So there's low amount of trading liquidity there, but $96 in volume does not give me a good vote of confidence on it. But it could right that could mean a sign that it's in the crypto graveyard and it has done its pump, which it was at its high of 5 cents down. But we'd have to follow it to see if more developers are doing that. So I hope that answers your question there, Tate. Uh, but we can definitely keep. I'll just put on a watch list just to watch it to make sure we see where it's going and what it's doing. So shout out to NG Dubs. a couple comments here on YouTube. Also put Chia on the list to look into. Yep, I'll definitely do that for you guys. Blockchain futures and are registering with SEC. Cody says he's into decentralization, but that's exactly what Hex and Pulse Chain ecosystem is. You definitely haven't looked into it deep at all yet. Um, I kind of it's like I get it, and everybody has their own risk level, but you also got to remember Cody does not have as much capital just yet, so he's keeping his focus.
My portfolio
Big
is only at
focus.
13,000 right now.
So
So
yeah, I'd say
I'm in 3 coins. I have 13,000 spread out in 3 coins. That's my spread right now.
mhm, exactly, and it's like keep in mind if you guys are definitely new into crypto, don't try to do a shotgun blast into everything. Pick a few projects that you really like, and then follow, and then stick with those as you go. Don't try to overdo it and spread your capital among hundreds of coins. You want to make sure you get the ones that you know first, a handful. I'd recommend starting out with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then maybe do like a quant, and then as those get to a high level, then we can start introducing some more uh, coins and things into it as we go on. But let me go back over here. Let me go back over here to KuCoin to take a look. Because we're going to take a quick look at Dot. Because Dot was definitely a good. I had a good buy entry yesterday. Uh, I definitely got in. I got in more like right here, like right somewhere here. But you can tell here the lowest trade was pretty much almost just below 450. Shout out to Henry, bro. Do you have a job? How are you buying your dips? Well, Henry, if you're new to us, Cody is definitely employed full time. I own two businesses that I own 100% of, and then of course I own investments into. I announced on if you want to go back to YouTube, watch the replay of what's in your portfolio. I bought into. I invested with two other gentlemen into a construction company, and then I'm building up a logistics company with another guy in with final mile delivery and warehousing and things like that. And then, of course, I own real estate. I invest in stocks. I have a pretty good, sizable portfolio in stocks and buy and stocks and stocks and dividend stocks. Shout out to Henry again. What are your businesses? Well, one's a detail shop and one's a moving company. The If you go to our YouTube channel, link is in the bio. On TikTok, you can go to our Facebook pages. If you can give us some support and likes there, that we really appreciate there too. But I do not have the construction company and like my projects that the businesses I only invest either less 50% or less than in, only because I don't know how long I'm going to be involved in those projects. I'm really was there just for seed capital and then trying to get money out of it. Although the logistics company is probably going to be 50-50, and that hasn't really been officially set up, although we have contracts on the board. So, but we are when that gets official, I'll definitely put the link in there and you
I
guys.
actually, if you guys are new to this stream, I actually used to work for Salvatore. I used to work for his company. The biggest sale I did at his company was like a $56,000 move all the way to Vegas. And me and Sal, we traveled
Mhm.
in the truck and we went to Vegas and we helped our client move. And I actually used to work for him, and I'm employed full time right now.
So, and shout out to Cody, like that was the biggest sale until I think
That was my biggest sale. I mean,
January. Or not January, July of last year, we got someone for $140,000 on the moving side to move.
I wonder, 25% down, right?
Yep,
So that was 25 grand, or what you said, over 100,000.
it was 140,000 altogether,
So
and that was a wealthy business owner area. I'm not going to share names, but of course, he was going through a divorce, so we moved his ex-wife, soon-to-be ex-wife, to one side of the country, and then moved all their stuff to another side. And it was crazy because they had like $4 million worth of artwork, and they were fighting over the artwork while we were there loading up. So it was quite the scene to behold. But there's a lot of money in moving. Unfortunately,
Anointing word.
it takes a lot of capital to get going to do it right.
Yeah.
That's the thing there.
It takes a lot of capital. It takes knowledge of the market and the industry. It takes knowledge of competitors, not from trying to snoop inside of their business, but knowledge as in like how they perform, how they treat their clients, if
Mhm.
they take off with their stuff, if they're not licensed. That's a big thing. You got to be licensed and you have to be white glove. White glove, those are big. That's a big buzzword, but it's not just a buzzword. You have to actually be white glove. You
Yeah,
have to
you actually
actually
have to
do your
follow
part.
through with it. Exactly. So yeah, and that's how I get my money to do all this, and I do a lot of crazy stuff. Money very rarely sits into any of my checking or savings account. I only have enough to cover expenses for for the year, and then cover, and I draw salaries off businesses to pay my bills and everything. Excuse me. But other than that, all my money is kind of getting moved from one asset to another. So like a lot of money I earn off of real estate goes right into stocks, and I make
Yeah.
big purchases for stocks. And a lot of the money I earn, whether it's profit from trades or dividends, which I make quite a bit a quarter on dividends, goes into crypto, which is why I'm doing very, very little buying, because at the end of this month I'll get a huge dividend payment, and that money will go right into crypto again and just
Hey,
be
Sal,
averaged in.
real quick, since it's already 10:03 a.m., I'm not going to leave the stream, but I'm going to get a shower and I'm actually going to get ready for work.
Alrighty, alrighty. Well, while Cody's there, and just we'll have him back on in a little bit there, but that's where I get a lot of money. If you don't know, you can go back and watch the replays on on YouTube and Rumble, and we do what's in your portfolio. It's there for you. We're actually pretty much coming to the end of this. This was going to be Mondays are always quick because there's not a lot of news, very few breaking news points. Although I do have to say, if you guys are on Robinhood, there are big things happening this week. The CPI data coming out in here, so shout out to Freedom Fighter. There are big things coming in this week, yes, but as of right now, Monday, we're really just in a wait and see point. Although I, th- I'm pretty sure the CPI data is going to come in a little lower. Shout out to Crypto Wizard. I can't even pronounce that. Damn. Uh, but hey, thank you for your support. Another one of our good moderators back in the house. Uh, it is definitely with the Fed announcement. It's definitely on its way. The Fed are going to raise rates. That's for 100% sure. If you guys are thinking that the Fed is not going to raise rates, they're going to raise it. I don't. It's either going to be 0.25 or 0.50. They're really trying to curb it. But then we got an announcement out of China that their economy's not doing so hot. Got some news, some I guess contract journalists, doing some news finding out that the China is not able to keep up with production, is cutting a lot of things. So we're definitely seeing some changes there. It is certainly going to be interesting. Shout out to Freedom Fighter. I think it'll be high and sticky. You're probably right. You always plan for the worst case scenario. Could do a skip where they pause and hike the next meeting. They could. Most likely, I think they're going to do 0.25, because you got to remember that the banks are actually making more money right now as they keep raising the rates. So the banks are benefiting from this. However, a lot of us are not benefiting from this. And if you are a lot of like tech companies, all that money that they got at 0% is now getting charged interest. So I don't know if you guys heard, but another big hotel chain gave back the San Francisco Hilton with a 750 million debt service on it. They they just handed the keys right to the bank. They didn't even bother about trying to negotiate it out. They just tossed the keys over to the bank and says it's yours now. So we're going to be seeing a lot of that happening in the bigger in the big with big commercial real estate projects and things like that. Although I still see residential projects being built. I saw like 3 or 4 new multi-million-dollar projects being built in like Daytona Beach and like the shorelines of Florida. So I think residential is the way to go with real estate, and that's why I on my stock side I have ORC and NLP or NPL on there. Let me just see what that ticker symbol is. NLY. I'm sorry, I can never get it right. So they're benefiting from these rate increases. Although the default rate is increasing, I think the default rate on mortgages is going to be about 10% anticipated, up about 40% from where it was 2 years ago. So we're definitely in for some craziness. I do think that the market has priced a lot of things in with the downward turn. As if you were on yesterday, you know that I suffered an 8% loss in crypto as well as a 2% loss on stocks. So we're definitely headed in that direction there. We're in a downward direction. So I wouldn't be surprised if on another week I went down again for you guys. But we're definitely going to cover that CPI when it comes out on Wednesday. But I have a feeling the costs are going down because I noticed the cost of food dropped a little bit, but the cost of my supplies for my businesses has been going down. So it hasn't been rising. So, and it could only be that the demand has finally popped. A lot of competitors kind of went the wayside, things like that. So, but with that being said, it's been quite crazy. It's been quite crazy. Still a lot of things. I know that there's still a lot of craziness going on in the market, but we're kind of in a wait and see period. There's a lot going on, but we don't want to talk about it just yet. We kind of want to do a react to it, not really comment on what we can speculate because it can go it can go in any direction. But if I had to say anything, it seems like last July was the start of the recession. It kind of ended around this April. I noticed that sales were starting to pick up in my businesses that I've invested in and I own. So I think people are kind of now just back to spending money, the work. I mean, the unemployment's going still slowly dropping. I mean, in Northwest Arkansas here, it's still very hard to find people that don't have a job because unemployment's like 1% here for everybody. So there's even people that shouldn't have jobs that have jobs. So with that being said, guys, be careful out there, be safe. Definitely do your research on anything you invest in. If you guys are interested and want to support the channel, you certainly can. I mean, likes and subscribes are free. It definitely helps. But you can also, go ahead and join our Patreon. And there we're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff because we're trying to get interviews lined up with other business professionals. We're trying to get more in-depth dives of picks and everything, which will be posted on there. Also, our buy order when we make our buys will be posted on there. And if you really need some help with understanding some terms, concepts, understanding where your portfolio is at, what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, we can definitely talk about that with a one-on-one sit down. That's a little bit more, but you get a little bit more access. I'm really hoping end of the end of the year that we could start doing like live meetups with you guys and things like that because we do get quite a few people watching us. We are actually starting to average about 25 to 30,000 people a week rewatching the content, looking at everything. So we really do appreciate all your support. A lot of you guys definitely been with us from the start, and we've only been doing this for this is the fourth week. We're into the fourth week of doing this. So we definitely appreciate that. And if you guys could help share us, like the streams, share the streams, give us a follow on TikTok and subscribe on YouTube and Rumble. That we really appreciate. We really help. We really do help. Appreciate all the help, and it really helps with the algorithm. But with that said, guys, it's big. Usually Mondays are really, really busy, which is why these streams are not the hour and a half sometimes that they can be. Today is just we're just kind of real quickly going over the market and everything because we did a lot of talking yesterday. So with that said, though, I got to cut short. I got to start running these businesses and start joining in. But definitely love all your support. Thanks for all your support, guys. We'll definitely be talking to you tomorrow. Always check us out at 8:30. Was it 8:30 Central Time for Crypto Morning? 9 o'clock Central Time for what's in your portfolio on Sundays, and then 6:30 p.m. on Wednesdays for kind of news dives on on any of the frauds. Both it could be real estate, crypto, stocks, wherever it may be. We talk about it. That way, you guys can seeing how to protect. And I also do like a midweek update on the portfolio and cry about my losses on there. So, with that said, guys, thank you for your support. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have fun. Stay safe out there. We're all going to chase that bag and get to it. Good luck with everybody. And never forget to respect the process and do your due diligence and do your research. With that said, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you, everything.